Hello everyone and welcome back to the King of the Ring podcast. My name is Anthony as always, and joining me is my co-host Michael. How you doing, Michael?
I'm alright.
So on this episode we're going to be talking about our favourite Attitude Era moments. Now this is going to range from, like really big things to maybe small things that you didn't really think of. So do you want to go first or should I go first?
I think you can go first with this one.
Right, okay. So one of my the first moment I think I'm going to talk about was when Rhino gored Chris Jericho through the Titantron on SmackDown,
Oh, nice.
and also when the Rhino gored The Rock when him and Shane were like cutting promos on each other. So basically Rhino did the best sort of. Well, it was basically a spear, but like I think it was a little more higher up, was it?
Yeah, I
I'm not
think it
sure.
was just a touch.
And anyway, so Chris Jericho, this was in the Invasion, so this was like what 2000,
Yeah, I think it would have been about then.
and Rhino, it's the old SmackDown with the rings, and Chris Jericho's like right in the middle where the logo is, and Rhino runs and just gores the shit out of him, and they go flying through it. It was just so badass. I remember watching it on DVD, or not DVD, on video, and then
What is this technology?
exactly, and then obviously watching it over the years on YouTube and whatnot, and it never gets old. And then the Rock one, he almost kills the Rock with the gore. I showed Michael it, and it was just like, it was just insane. It was like he
It was
literally
the best
broke
God,
him
I'd
in
say.
half. You know.
As God as my witness.
Exactly. He was dead in the centre of the ring after that gore. So that's one of my first favourite moments. Is the gore through the SmackDown set. So do you maybe want to move on to yours now, Michael?
I think mine's a rock one as well. It was
Right.
one of his catchphrases. The "It doesn't matter"
Nice.
on the Dudley Boys.
Yes. Me and Michael love this segment. Do you want to
It's
maybe explain it in case there's any younger people who don't know what we're talking about?
basically it was the Rock and Mankind.
Oh, the Rock and Sock connection.
Yeah, the Rock and Stock connection, whatever you want to call them. They were both in the ring, and then the Dudley Boys decided to come down and start slating them.
They were talking about commandments, weren't they?
Yeah,
Or
the
Devon
three.
was.
Yeah, Devon was talking about like 3 commandments,
Mm.
and
And then The Rock
then
proceeded
just,
to go,
he just
"Who are you two Rudy Poos?" And it was amazing. And that prompted Bubba Ray Dudley to go, "You should know by now, my name, it doesn't matter." And it was just the greatest, you know? Like, you need to watch it yourself, guys, to really
to
sort of
understand it.
to get how badass that was. Like me doing it's probably going to sound like
So
garbaggio,
them,
but like,
so them.
but when you hear The Rock do it, it's really good. So definitely check that out. That's a good one. Do you know what's funny? I was gonna go with that one, but now you've chose it. I might have to choose something else. But awesome segment. It was just awesome. And I love the way they start like fighting and brawling it out after he said it, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But I think the next moment that I want to talk about is good old Stone Cold, and
nice.
this moment, I think I'm going to combine two if that's all right. I'm going to
Yeah,
combine one of them, which was probably people say quote unquote start of the Attitude Era of the King of the Ring. King of the Ring '96.
right.
When he's like, "Oh, 360 just says I whooped your ass." When he's talking to the guy who's on some of the backstage shows with the long hair. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
And that was an awesome bit that after the King of the Ring. It was just, man, Austin really sort of shook things up like in ECW when who was it? shit, this is really bad. I can't remember his name, but like he cut a Shane someone. Oh wow, this is bad. I'll come back to that. I can't. My brain's not working fully this morning. But yeah, it was similar to that promo where it was like it started something. It started a movement, and
Yes,
it was awesome. And that's the first Stone Cold moment. And then the next one is the beer truck.
nice.
Where was it against the corporation?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. You had The Rock. Was Triple H there? Or was it just The
I
Rock
don't.
and all the McMahons? I know there
The
was
Rock.
Pat Patterson and Briscoe there.
Yeah,
And anyway, so basically Austin comes down, the crowd goes mental, and he's like cutting a promo, and then he like sprays everyone in the ring with beer. It was just such a badass moment, you know. Every time I see it, I just get goosebumps, and like, man, that was an awesome segment. That'll go down in history. Was one of the probably his best segments on Raw, you know.
ever.
But
Because it was amazing.
yeah. So, Jim, maybe you want to talk about something now, or?
I'd probably have to say when I think it was Kane spoke for the very first time, like not the one that you might be thinking of with the thing they're used to put up to his neck, but the actual first time it was with X-Pac.
All right.
Like like I don't know what the word is. Like it's sort of unsupported by the voice thing that he had.
All right, because the first thing when you said that, I thought wasn't his first
Yeah,
words like "suck it" or something.
yeah, it was
Mm.
because X-Pac was doing his little Kane's got 2 words for you, and then
Sound like
it,
Stephen Hawkins.
well, that was with his voice
Yeah.
thing on, but this was just even worse. It just sounded as if he had like a mouthful of food or something.
Mm.
It was just like suck it, or like he was dying for air.
Yeah. But
It was
yeah, that's a pretty cool moment, I have to say.
yeah,
I've got another Stone Cold one. In this other Stone Cold one, The Rock versus Mankind, WWF title championship on the line. Can you remember this when you had DX and Vince and everyone surrounding the ring, and
yes, I do remember
Stone
that.
Cold comes down to an amazing pop, and he
Yeah,
grabs a chair in the ring, smashes The Rock over the head with a chair, and Mankind covers them for the pin. And
yeah,
the
I do
crowd's
remember
just
this one.
going mental. That was just such a badass segment.
Was that the time when they were in rivals with WCW at the time, and this was when the WWF really
I
like
think,
what?
yeah, I think this was during the Monday Night Wars, and
Yeah,
I think that was it was an awesome moment. It was super badass.
because this was when Mankind won the first world title, or his first.
Yeah, his first title, and I still get like goosebumps off that pop because that was just an amazing pop. You don't hear them these days because no one's really that over, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's what I don't
yeah.
really like about
So
it now.
another moment that I want to talk about is probably the one I think most people who do sort of wrestling shows or podcasts or whatever would go for, and that's King of the Ring '97 with Undertaker and Mankind, the Hell in the
This was
Cell.
'98.
Oh, 98, sorry. And the Hell in the Cell and throwing him off the top and, good God Almighty, he killed him. Just like,
That was the greatest commentary ever, by the
it
way.
was, like, that'll never be beaten. That match and that commentary was just, like, just next gen. And, you know,
Yeah,
it was,
definitely cannot be beaten.
it was just like you just get goosebumps again at that moment because it's like
Yeah,
I've heard Undertaker talk about it a few times now, and he says for him it was like time slowed down almost, like when he threw him
yeah,
off, and it was just like mad, and the camera angle just it was so badass, you know.
yeah.
And
And the fact that I think
oh man,
like broke several bones in his body as well.
he could
And
have. Do you know the? I don't know if you've ever heard this or not, but the cage at the top when he got chokeslammed wasn't meant to break.
God.
It wasn't meant to break, and the weight and the force of him getting chokeslammed on it snapped through, and I think he punctured one of his
Punctured
lungs.
along. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
and it's like holy shit, you know, like that thing wasn't meant to break, and he just smashed through it, hit the ring straight on his back. You know, that's got to be in so much pain, and then the thumbtacks, you know,
Oh yeah.
the tooth through his lip. You know, that guy had a
Yeah.
pretty rough night, so you know that
Oh yeah.
was such an amazing moment for me.
He
Um,
certainly wouldn't be turning out the next night, like I tell you.
yeah, and another good Hell in a Cell was when Kane first showed up.
Oh, against Shawn Michaels Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good Hell in a Cell match as well. That one,
Yeah, it
you
really
know,
was.
the first two big ones that I can remember anyway, with them two, and those are the best ones, I think. You know,
Yeah, definitely. Because nowadays the Hell in the Cells are just absolutely pathetic.
and they
Like,
don't even go like right back and CM Punk went on the top, and like he
is
did
it?
one move, and that was it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, no one's ever going to get thrown off the side because health and safety, PG. But like, at least do something. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
these are big fellas. They're tough. I'm pretty sure they could withstand a power bomb on top of the cell. You know,
oh yeah.
or through the cell, or whatever. You know, how awesome would it be if you got power bombed, like off the cell through the table? Like, oh god.
I think JR would have a heart attack.
Like something you would do on like the wrestling games.
Yeah.
You know, like
It will be pretty awesome.
set the announce table on fire with Jerry Lawler on, and then put someone through it.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Wait, no. Put Jerry Lawler through it because no one likes him.
Yeah, well, I don't like him, man. He's just the worst.
Right, no one hates.
But on a side note, do you want to go with your next moment that you want to talk about?
Well, I think you took off them in that little section. Oh Christ.
Well, if you want to, if you kind of think of anything at the minute, I'm pretty sure I can go with a few other
Yeah,
ones.
You're
Yeah.
pretty loaded with some of the.
Would you class the Armageddon Hell in the Cell as still being Attitude or not?
Was that 2000? I think it was. Yeah, I think.
So the Attitude era,
It ended
Armageddon
in
Hell in the
2001,
Cell.
2002.
Yeah. You had Kurt Angle, Rikishi, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, and Mankind. Is that 6?
I think.
Sure
Yeah.
And it was such an awesome match, you know. And there was some awesome
Yeah.
promos leading up to it with The Rock, you know. It was amazing.
Yeah, there was always a good promo to that.
Yeah, it was an awesome match. Kurt Angle ended up retaining. Did he retain or did he win? I'm sure he retained.
Retained, I think. Yeah, he might be right.
And it was an awesome match. You had the Rikishi getting choke slammed off the thing into the sawdust or whatever. And,
Was that when he just got like pushed?
Yeah, I honestly don't think like. I think if Undertaker lifted him up instead of pushing him, it probably would have snapped the truck and probably killed Rikishi.
Yeah.
Because if you think about Rikishi at that time was like what, £400?
Oh
And
yeah.
like Undertaker pushed him into it. There was obviously a lot of hair there to protect him. But I think if he lifted him up and had that extra half a foot or a foot and then threw him from the chokeslam properly, it probably sort of killed him and snapped the truck. Or broke his back or something at least. And it would have been mental, but that was a good moment. A lot of finishes in that match, which was awesome. I just love the way The Rock used to sell the angle slam.
Yeah.
The Rock used to sell all the like. On a side note, I watched Raw today, and Seth Rollins sold an elbow like really awesome. And I just love it when people like overreact to moves. I think that's why I love Dolph Ziggler selling so many moves.
Yeah, I think Shawn Michaels used to sell moves as well, pretty awesome as well.
Shawn Michaels used to do that turnbuckle thing quite a lot.
Yeah, where he turned himself upside down.
Yeah, that sort of thing. I never understood that. Like, why would you do that? But it's a bit dumb, like. Give yourself a fucking concussion or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could mess up and like smash you off the turnbuckle, like, oh god. But
Why?
another moment that I can think of is Edge spearing Jeff Hardy from the ladder.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
know the ladder match at WrestleMania 17? Is it
yeah,
17? Yes, okay.
yeah.
And that was a badass moment. That's one of my favourites. I don't think the crowd reacted as mad as they should have. Obviously they reacted,
Yeah.
but like
WrestleMania crowds never do react that well, to be
I
fair.
know, like there's only been a few WrestleManias where you think, holy shit, that crowd was on fire. Like Rock versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that match was pretty cool.
That crowd was awesome, and we can talk about that next. Actually,
Oh
the
yeah,
Hollywood Hulk Hogan Rock match, Icon versus Icon, and
oh yeah, that was
oh
pretty
man,
awesome.
what an awesome match! The Rock ended up winning, and it was just such a good match, man. You know,
It was, and Hulk Hogan, particularly when he started hulking up,
yeah, definitely
the
was.
crowd, the crowd there had like a massive pop there.
Yeah, it was such an awesome match when you look back, and for me, that's one of the best main events, I think.
Yeah, instead of all these finisher moves, crap.
Yeah, like
Just,
John Cena, The Rock. You
John
know,
Cena, that matches were so awful and
it
overrated.
was. They were like slow finisher matches with just like where you could just hear them calling the spots. And it's just like, come on, I know you've
Yeah,
been out the ring for a while, Rock, but you couldn't have that much ring rust. You know,
yeah,
especially when you've been doing it for that long, like week in, week out. That's not something you forget. You might forget how to, like a few holds if you haven't done them in a while, or how to do them safely or whatever. But like, it was
yeah,
such a that was an awful match. On a side note, but
yeah, yeah. But this isn't. It's the PG era. This
yeah,
is the Attitude Era we're talking
I
about.
like to call it the gay era because
Yeah,
it's
good
just
shout. It's all the
just
same.
the worst. So have you got any particular moments that you want to talk about?
I can't remember too well, but was it a triple threat ladder match with the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian?
Are you thinking WrestleMania 18?
Is that
That was an insane match. That you had like Rhino come
was
down
it
and
still
like,
part of the Attitude Era? Was that still a
oh
part of the
yeah,
Attitude Era?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Um, like
I think that
that
match
was an insane match. That you know.
it was.
Um,
I
I'm
quite
gonna have
liked
to
it. It
probably.
was,
I think. I think I'm probably just gonna have to rewatch a lot of these TLC matches
yeah, because
and just see what they're like. I haven't seen that match for probably say at least maybe like 10 years.
yeah. And when you
So
look back, though, it's some of the greatest moves ever. Some of the greatest, like just people who can sell moves better, like people who can actually go through tables, and the fact that
yeah, all of them tags, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian, could all sell TLC well. You know,
they could,
like
it was so
selling
brilliant.
ladder moves can be quite difficult.
Yeah,
But they seem to do it all right, and they did take a lot more risks, and that made for a lot more entertainment.
yeah,
You don't see a lot of, especially in the TLC pay-per-views, you don't see a lot of diving from the top of the ladders or
yeah,
ladders to the outside of the ring and smashing people through tables outside the ring, like from the inside. Like just imagine
yeah.
like Razor's Edge from in the ring, outside the ring. How mint would that be? Or she mad?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't reference our Razor
Yeah,
Samon, which
yeah,
is our inside joke.
and Fraser Simone, but
Ah, yes,
and
the infamous Celtic Keeper one.
yeah, and basically, their matches were just, I would say, almost unforgettable. Like
They were.
you cannot forget those matches. They were just amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
They
they're
were awesome as
tremendous.
well. But
Yeah, and the wrestlers back then, they could sell moves, they could take risks,
and they
and
took
they just didn't
bumps.
give a shit.
They
Yeah,
took bumps.
yeah, they took it on the chin as well. It was like, oh, you've just hit us in the face. Get on with it.
Yeah. Another good match I liked was Undertaker versus Stone Cold in a first blood match. God, I can't.
Was that Undertaker?
Yeah.
I must be thinking of the one against Kane when he had his mask on.
It might have been 97. And
Well,
it
I know
was a pretty cool match. It was on one of me Undertaker videos on the PSP. The original one, it was like a DVD. And that was a badass
yeah,
match,
because
that.
I remember what was it? The same night when Undertaker chucked Mankind off the cell, Austin and Kane had a first blood match, and Undertaker ran down with a chair, went to swing for Kane, but hit Austin and busted him wide open.
Like a vagina. But
exactly.
I think back then as well, I think what made a lot of the matches more special was when they did take chair shots.
Yeah.
You know, and they were bleeding.
The fact that
and
was
they
just a
were
shitload
like
of blood. Yeah.
and they were like beaten up and battered. Like nowadays, if you have like, if you're trying to, like, for instance, we'll go a little off topic here just for a minute, guys. There's the match coming up at Payback between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, a last man
This is going to be
standing.
a shit match.
And for me, in a last man standing, like, you should both be like bust open and like battered to the bone, and like, you know, and like that would like show more of a fight. It would look more of a fight. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And cause how many times have you seen Austin bust open in like title matches, and then like, you know, he comes back and kicks some ass and wins the belt? You know?
Yeah. And speaking of Austin, there, I think I will apologise for something I did before on one of the previous podcasts. amend something where I said "kick your candy ass" when I was talking about Austin.
Yeah.
It was in the top 5, so
yeah.
thought I'd quickly get that in there.
Oh, that's alright. So for me, I've got a few more moments what I can talk about, and I think one of them was probably like a hardcore match. I think it was Backlash. I think
Right.
it was definitely in the Attitude Era, and it was like had like had the Hardys in, like Taz, Perry Saturn, a few people like that. And it was a badass match, you know. The hardcore matches back then they used to go backstage a lot, and they used to go like around the arena into the car park and like.
Yeah, I know they did that one at Extreme Rules, but that was just awful. By the way.
Yeah. Extreme Rules 2014. If you watch the main event, it just facepalm because they're trying to be extreme in a PG era, and it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. But
it's like trying to milk a dead cow. It's just terrible.
But I mean, for me, when I look back at the Attitude Era, you know, like seeing the invasion, that was badass. That I really loved the invasion and the whole like ECW and WCW teaming up, taking on the WWF, and that would rally together. And then like Austin turned his back on the WWF, and then he eventually came back, and you know, like just awesome shit, you know. And there was an awesome moment as well when Vince was in the ring and Shane McMahon announced on the Titantron that he bought WCW. That was a badass moment.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
And
it was like, what was it? It was like, I can now decide the fate of the WCW, and then just what would have been so cool in that promo is if it just like the screen just completely went black, as if he just pulled the plug.
Yeah, just turned the switch off.
Right, and then just everyone go home, fuck off.
Yeah,
this is my
fire. But I think that was a badass moment of
it was.
You know, like no, that's not Attitude. What I'm thinking of, I think that was a few years after. I think that was in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah, that was such a sackless name. That.
Yeah, I love Chris Benoit's shirt, Toothless Aggression. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was great. But Chris Benoit was amazing, though.
He was. I'm trying to think of any other like amazing matches in the Attitude Era. Obviously, you've got the WrestleManias with Austin and The Rock. Those were always badass. You got DX.
D-Generation X. Yep.
Yeah, we've got DX with the whole invading WCW thing. We've got DX with Mike Tyson at WrestleMania. You know, the Austin Shawn Michaels match. You've got all sorts, and man, DX made the WWF. You know, and
That really did.
it was DX, Stone Cold, and The Rock who sort of made the WWF. And you know, when you look back, it's hard to picture what it would have been like without them. You know, and they had so many memorable moments. You know, and then when Shawn Michaels had an injury and he went away for a while, obviously they brought in like Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, you know, X-Pac. So there was like X-Pac, China, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and Triple H. And then you had like the badass Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, Jesse James. It was just awesome, man. It really was.
Their entrance musics were so good.
Yeah.
Looking
it's just
back.
like I just loved Billy Gunn and Road Dogg together. I thought they were awesome. Put on some good matches.
Yeah, but not now, obviously, because it's like they're not the New Age Outlaws. I call them the Middle Age Outlaws because
they're the OAP Outlaws, and they're just Billy Gunn looks about 60 going on 80. It's ridiculous, you know. He's only 50-year-old, I think, and he's like, you can tell, you know. I'm surprised he's still got a good head of hair on him at 50. You have to give him that. But I mean,
that's the only thing he's got.
So, can you think of any other moments that you want to mention? Any particular ones? Because we've covered quite a lot of the stuff here.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't really think of too many.
Well, if you kind of think of too many, I mean, I kind of think of a lot at the minute. I'm sure we'll think of some when we end up like finishing it, but
ended the call, That's like, we'll mention that.
But I think we could probably call it there, you know, because we've covered a lot of the moments we wanted to talk about. And as always, guys, if you are listening, please leave your favourite moment in the comment section below. What was your favourite Attitude Era moment that we haven't mentioned? Maybe yours is something like really like different. You know what I mean?
Obscure.
You know. So make sure to leave a comment. That'll be awesome. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes, because we are planning to do quite a lot of different sort of wide topics. So make sure to subscribe so you can get you can have all of the sort of range from wrestling. You know, we like to cover all sorts. Maybe, who knows, we might do an ECW podcast sometime if you guys are interested, or a WCW one. But
I'd have to start watching that again then.
Yeah, I'll have to give you a quick run through of some of the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But so I think that's going to be the end of today's episode, the Attitude Era Talk. So if you have enjoyed, guys, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the King of the Ring podcast, guys.
Thanks, yeah.